Okay, let us consider our parallel lines today. Parallel lines. These are parallel lines. In the previous class, I've already mentioned the vertical lines, horizontal lines, inclined lines, perpendicular lines. And I said in today's class, I will help you understand some of the unique things that you need to know about this set of lines. So this one we have on the board there is the parallel lines. Now, parallel lines are lines that do not meet. You can see it there on the board. Line A, line B, and line C. These three lines are said to be parallel lines because they have no meeting point. If you extend these lines indefinitely, they will still not meet at a point. But if they meet at a point in the course of extending them, then those lines will not be parallel lines anymore. Now look at these two lines. These two lines, for example. These two lines tend to be parallel for now. Line A, line B seem to be parallel for now. But if you extend this line indefinitely, at a certain point, these two lines will meet somewhere. If I want to extend these two lines and extend this one, you see, at this point, that is their meeting point. So at this point, a line A and line B will not be called or considered parallel lines because they have a meeting point. You can see an intersect at that particular point where they met. But these other lines here, line A and B, can never meet at a point. Even if you extend them indefinitely, the two lines cannot meet at any point. Parallel lines do not intersect. Parallel lines do not meet at a point. Parallel lines do not intersect like these lines. They will not intersect. They will not meet at a point. Distance between two parallel lines is the same throughout. The distance between two parallel lines is the same throughout. Now look at the distance between A and B, between B and C. The distance will remain the same because this straight line will keep going that way. There's no way the straight line will bend to where C is. This same path traveled by this line is what we'll keep on having if I choose to extend this line further. So the distance between two parallel lines remain the same true. Now the angle formed between parallel lines is undefined. Angles that are formed between parallel lines is said to be undefined because if you recall in the previous class, in one of the classes I treated the other days, I said that angles are formed when two lines meet at a particular point. Angles are formed. But since parallel lines don't meet at any point, it therefore implies that angles are not formed between them. So that is why I said mathematically, angles that are formed between parallel lines is said or are said to be undefined. The angle is said to be undefined because we can't see any angle being formed in between parallel lines because the two lines will not meet at any point. Since that is one of the property of parallel lines, that the lines don't meet. Now, since the lines don't meet, it therefore implies that angles or angle will not be formed between parallel lines. Now, if angles must be formed between parallel lines, then we shall be looking at what is known as transversal. Transversal is a line that divides two parallel lines. In mathematics, a transversal is a line that divides two parallel lines. Assuming this is a parallel line, and this is another parallel line, a transversal is a line that divides the two parallel lines in that way. You understand that now that we have a transversal or a line that has cut the two parallel lines in this way, then angle can be formed here. angle can be formed here, an angle can be formed here, here, and here. So that is the angle. So at this case, I can now tell you rightly that angles that are formed in between two parallel lines lie between 0 and 180 degree. Now, but in this case, I can't tell you that because there's no transversal in between the parallel lines. So now you understand that parallel lines do not meet at a point. Parallel lines do not intersect. The distance between two parallel lines remains the same all through, and also angles that are formed between parallel lines are said to be undefined. That you can only define the angles between parallel lines when a transversal is involved. Now let us quickly look at perpendicular lines. This is a perpendicular line, and I'll try to label it. Now, perpendicular lines have this structure, or this is how we write or we draw perpendicular lines. When two lines in this standard meet at a point which is 90 degree, or they're able to form 90 degree, then that two lines are said to be perpendicular. They are said to be perpendicular. So the lines are perpendicular to each other when they have the 90 degree as part or as the major angle in between them. So line AD is perpendicular to line BC. This is line BC and this is line AD. So line AD is perpendicular to line BC. Quickly, we use this symbol to represent parallel lines. We use this symbol to represent parallel lines. So in mathematics, if I write A with two sticks in this form, or two lines, and I write B here, it means A is parallel to B. If I write C and two lines and E, it means C is parallel to E. Now in perpendicular lines, we use this symbol for perpendicular nature of letters. So if I write this, and you see the symbol in between before the letter B, it means A is perpendicular to B. If I write this with the symbol and this, it means C is perpendicular to D. This is how I write it in mathematics. This is A parallel to B, C perpendicular to D. So these are some of the things you need to know as a student who is studying geometry. Because right now you are a geometer and you need to understand this basic concept in geometry. For parallel lines, I said we use the two sticks in this form as a symbol. So if you see someone writing C with two sticks and E, it means C is parallel to E. A is parallel to B. Then if you see this is C is perpendicular to D, A is perpendicular to B. It means the A will be the one standing vertical line, while the B will be the horizontal line. That is how it works. So in our next class, we shall be treating other aspects of the same geometry. Thank you.